Today's intermediate class is going to be an oblique focus. Get ready to feel that side ab burn. All right, we are doing a big focus on the obliques today. So we are going to start by sitting just nice and comfortably, and we're going to start with some side bends as we are going into quite a lot of work for those obliques. So just bringing the arm up, let's go for a nice side bend. Breathing into the space the ribs are creating, and then coming back up. Let's do the other side. So imagine that your torso is this big, beautiful rainbow that's starting to arc. You can think of one side as being the red beam. So we're creating this nice, big red beam, this beautiful space, staying anchored through the glute. And then the underside is going to be that purple arc. So we don't want to collapse into it. Stay nice and supported through that purple arc as you go for the bend. And then coming back up. So you just don't want to push your ribs out to the side looking for that big stretch. Instead, thinking of coming up and over is actually going to be more satisfying, and it's going to give you a better stretch between those ribs. One more time on each side. Last one here. And up. All right, let's just bring the arms out, open wide. We're going to be doing a lot of work, 4-point kneel to start, and some planking. So I just want us to move our arms up and down, big circles. Looking for that freedom in the shoulder blade to start, because it is going to be working for stabilization in a minute. One more time. All right, let's get right into it. Coming onto our hands and knees. So finding a nice neutral spine to start, equal weight on the hands and knees. I'm going to extend my left arm and my right leg to begin. Finding that nice strong position, hips are square. I'm pulling up through the inner thigh of my supporting leg so I'm not rotating out. And I'm going to open the leg out to the side and the arm out to the side. Pull them back into center. Open out and pull back to center. And I'm really thinking of pushing the floor away with my supporting arm. Let's do 4 more here. 3, 2, 1. From here, we're going into a nice cat. So I'm going to bend my elbow and my knee in toward my chest, scooping through the tummy muscles and rounding through the spine, and then reaching everything back out into a nice neutral. Deepening those abdominals. And out. And again, scoop, scoop, scoop. And out. Let's do 4 more here. And 3. And 2. Pushing the floor away with your supporting arm one last time. Holding that, changing the exercise up a little bit. Supporting arm, 1 single push-up. We're going to bend the elbow. I'm going to hinge my hips back and then pushing the floor away, coming up. So my elbow is going right back to the end of my mat and hinging at my hip and up. So I have this nice little slide happening. Single arm push-up. Do it again, maintaining the leg and the arm up. Still trying not to sink into the hip. 1 more time here. Bend that elbow back, slide that bum back in space. I'm going to pick my leg up a little bit. I can feel it dropping. Opening my arm out to the side, holding that there. 5 circles with the leg, and these are big circles. Keeping the pelvis really nice and supported. 2, 1. Keep the head lifted, reverse that circle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bring it all in. We're not going to the other side yet. We are coming into an elbow plank. So, finding my way into plank, I'm going to bring my right fist to my left elbow, and then I'm going to rotate on to my right forearm. Hold that. 4, 3, push the floor away. Then, taking my left arm, I come back into my supported plank. Left fist to right elbow, rotate onto that left arm. So like I said, there's a lot of strong supportive shoulder work happening right at the beginning of this class. Let's bring that right arm back down, coming back into the plank, and the right fist to the left elbow. Let's rotate again. You can come onto your knees to do this, if you would like. And then down. That would look like this, coming onto the knees, the left fist to the right elbow, and you would just pivot on those knees if you would like to go that direction. Holding 3, 2, 1, coming back down, and then bending the knees and coming back up into your 4-point kneel. I'm going to switch myself around because I don't have room to extend my arm out. All right, here we go. Extending the arm and the leg, holding that there, checking in with yourself. Are you sinking in the supporting leg? Are the hips square? From here, we're going to open the arm and the leg out. 1 and 2, 3. Exhale as you pull the leg in. Inhale as you open it for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Scoop, elbow and knee in. Find that beautiful cat stretch. Reach it all out. And scoop. And out. And scoop. And out. Let's do 3 more here. And 2. And 1. Here's our single arm push-up. As I bend my elbow back, I'm also going to hinge my bum back in space and coming up. So my quadricep is taking on some of this work, but not all of it. I really do want you to feel like this is an arm exercise. You can feel the tricep working here as you bend that elbow, sliding the bum back in space. Let's do 3 more. 2, really trying not to send my bum out to the side, but reach my sit bone right back to the end of my mat. And up, opening my arm out to the side. Here are my big circles. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Pushing the floor away, reversing the direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Bring it all in. We've got to go into our rotational planks here. Whew. Coming into our plank, left fist to right elbow, and I rotate and hold, pushing the floor away, pulling those abs in. 3, 2, 1. Come on back. Then rotating my right fist to left elbow, rotating onto my right forearm and holding that. 3, 2, 1. Coming back down. We've got 1 more time on each side. Left fist to right elbow, rotate and hold. 2, really feel those obliques kicking in. Squeeze that bum, squeeze those inner thighs. And 1, let's bring ourselves back down. Last one, right fist, left elbow. Up I come onto the right arm, holding that for 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming back into my plank. Let's just hold it for 5, 4, why not? 3, 2, 1. Come on down and just stretch yourself out. Good work. Whew, right off the bat. I hope you can start to feel those obliques kicking in a little bit. All right, let's roll ourselves up through the spine, and we're going to come to side kneeling. I love side kneeling work. It's such a great way to get into the obliques and to also get into the side of the bum. So, arms are going to be out, and we come into a nice kneeling position, being really supported by the arm. We're going to start by bringing the hand behind the head. I'm leaving my foot down to begin, rotating head, collarbone, rib cage. I'm going to let my elbow drop, and then I'm going to open it back up. So going for a little bit of rotation here. Head, collarbone, rib cage, and open. Head, collarbone, rib cage, collarbone, head. Getting a nice bit of rotation through that waist. And again. One more time. All right, from here, we're going to reach the arm and the leg out nice and long. Flex that foot, side kicks. Bring the leg forward with the arm. Point that foot, reach the arm back with the leg. Flex it forward, reach it back. 3. And 4. 5. So core is very active here. We've got 2 left. Last one. We're going to bend the arm and the leg in, scooping through the tummy muscles. So just like our cat that was on the mat, but now we've changed our orientation slightly. So even as the knee and the elbow come together, I want you to scoop, scoop, scoop those abdominals, reach them long. 4 more. 2 more. 1 more time. Hold that. Bring the arm up, lower and lift the leg. 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hold it there. Hold it, hold it, hold it. 3, 2, 1. Let's lower the leg down. Coming up. Lots of good control there. Hands behind the head. And we're going into a side bend. Melt the ribs back down toward the hip. Inhaling, exhale. And again, inhale and exhale. Whew. Starting to feel a little warm. Starting to feel that work. Let's do this for 4, 3. You can still think of your rainbow arcing here so you don't sink into that bottom arc. On this next one, we're going to come and stay. Come and stay in that nice long spine, long side bend. Rotate here. A little bit more challenging than the rotations at the beginning. It's because we don't have our arm support now. Let's do this 4 more times. Head, collarbone, ribcage, feel like you're wringing out that waist. 2 more. 1 more time. Come up. Whoo. Switch it out. Here we go. We're coming up and over, finding that nice strong position. Hand coming behind the head. And we start with our rotations here. So the head starts to look to the floor, the collarbone, the rib cage begin to rotate. You can let that elbow bend. And then lead with the elbow as you open up in your rotation. And up. And again. And up. And again. Let's do this for 4. And 3. 2 more. One more time here. Head, collarbone, rib cage. Opening yourself up. From here, reach the arm and the leg. Flex the foot. Here we go, our side kicks. Bring the arm and the leg forward. Point that foot, bring it back. So for this one, I'm keeping my torso really nice and long. I'm not bending. Let's do this for 3, 2, 1. Then scoop. Pull the elbow and the knee in together. Reach it out. Scoop through those tummy muscles. And out. Scoop. And again. Let's do this for 4. Can you feel those little shakes? Ooh, I certainly can. Whew. And 2. One more time. Reach out. Bring the arm up. Lower and lift the leg for 10. And 9. Whew. 8. 7. 6. 5. Exhaling as you bring that leg up. Inhaling down. 3 left here. Last one, bring the leg down. Slide those ribs down to the hip. Hands behind the head. Going into a nice side bend here. Bring it back up. Think of your rainbow. Don't collapse in that purple arc. Side bending. We've got 4 left. 4. Smile through it. It really does help. 2. One more time here. We're going to come back into that nice long side bend. Head, collarbone, rib cage, back to center. Head, collarbone, rib cage, center. And center. Let's do this for 4 and 3 and 2. One more time. Head, collarbone, rib cage, back to center. Deepen those abdominals and come on up. Whew, very good work. Not easy. Getting into those obliques. Let's come to sitting and go into some oblique half roll back work. Let's just start with a nice half roll back here. Scooping through those tummy muscles, pelvic wheel is rolling beneath you, tailbone to pubic bone to belly button. Keep the collarbone wide and exhale, come up. Let's do it again, scooping through the abdominals, rolling off of those sit bones. Getting nice and tall through the spine. One more time here, scooping and scooping and scooping. And coming up nice and tall. All right, so we're gonna add on now. We are going to scoop, and then I'm gonna rotate toward you, letting my arm draw itself through a beautiful little lake, reaching the arm out, draw the arm back through the lake, and then come up. Let's do that the other side. So I'm going into my scoop, turning my head, my collarbone, my rib cage. Let the arms dip into the lake as you reach back behind you. Dip into the lake as you reach back forward, rotating back to center and up tall. And again, scoop. And the arm flows through the lake. Flick the water. Come back and up. And again, scooping. Draw through the water. Flick. Back up. Let's do that one more time on each side. This is a nice, gentle rotation. preparing us for the work that we're going to do here. Rotate, flick the water behind you, back to center, nice and tall. Let's build on it, shall we? Okay, so we're going to scoop. I'm going to bring one leg to tabletop. Bring the hands behind the head, and I'm going to rotate toward that leg 8 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. If you've been following along with any of the other classes, you know this is one of my favorite exercises for obliques. 2. Last one here. Whoo, hold that. Reach the leg out, pull it in. Reach it out, pull it in. And 3. Keep that scoop. Try to stay as equally weighted on both bum cheeks as possible. 2, 1. Whoo, lower the leg, I'm still in rotation. Now rotate back to center. Reach the arms. Whoo, come up. Now that gets very much into the hip flexors. So before I hit up the other side, I'm just going to do a couple of open and closes with my legs. Try to relax those hip flexors. And let's go to the other side. Here we go. Nice and tall on those sit bones, scooping through those deep abdominal muscles. Tailbone to pubic bone to belly button, just off of those sit bones. Bring the leg up, bring the hands behind you, and let's rotate for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep the rotation. Reach the leg out for 6. Pull it in. 5, 4. Equal weight on the bum cheeks. 3, 2, 1. Bend the leg, lower it down, then come out of the rotation. Reach the arms out. Get tall, get tall, get tall through the spine and down. All right. We are going to go into an exercise called Around the World. This is traditionally done on the Cadillac, but we're going to do it on the mat. So my legs are going to be nice and long for this one, nice and tall through the spine. I'm going to scoop through the tummy muscles and find that nice half roll back position. From here, I'm going to rotate toward you, letting my arms come down toward the floor, then up around my head. I'm going to rotate to the other side as my arms come down toward the floor, back to center, and then I'm going to come back up. So we're creating this big, beautiful world around ourselves. We're going to do the opposite side now. Scooping through the tummy muscles, a little rotation as the hands come down, up and around the top of the head, rotate to the other side, bring those arms down, back to center, and they get nice and tall through the spine. Let's do it again. Scoop down with the arms, up and around the head, little rotation through the spine as you do so. Nice and tall. And again. Let's rotate. Arms up and around. Back to center. Nice and tall. Let's do our last one without coming up in between. So we're scooping through the tummy muscles, rotating around, arms up and around. Other side, back to center, don't come up. Just go right away the other side. Up and around, little rotation through that rib cage. Back to center. Hold that, take a breath in. Exhale. And up. Very nice. Let's roll ourselves all the way down to the floor, scooping through the tummy muscles, all the way down, rolling through that low back, arms back behind you, and then you can bring those arms to your side, and the legs are going to come down or come into a nice bent leg. Let's do some hip lifts here to give the abdominals a little bit of a break before we get into them again. So, finding a nice neutral pelvis, feet are sit bone distance apart, give the bum a squeeze, lift the bum up. Let's come halfway down and lift it up. halfway down, and lift it up. You know we're going to build on this, but consider this to be a little mini break. 2, 1. Hold that, lift the heels, press into those big toe knuckles, halfway down and up, halfway down and up, keeping the abdominals really nice and supported, halfway down and up. 3, 2, 1. Lower the heels down. Let the hip closest to the camera drop. So now I'm really using my glute on one side to support the leg. And then as I fire up the glute on my leg that's dropped, I'm going to use my obliques to help recenter my pelvis. Let the other side drop. Squeeze the glute, use the obliques to help recenter the pelvis. This is very gentle rotational work. This is not a crazy exercise, but it is still making the obliques engage, and it is still making them work. Last one. Let's build on it by lifting those heels up. Let one hip drop. Find that nice, strong starting position. Drop and lift. Drop, lift. 3 and 2. Still finding that big toe connection. One more time. Lower the heels down and lower the bum down with a nice amount of control. Excellent. Okay. Hands are going to come behind the head. Let's bring the leg closest to the camera, up into tabletop. We are going to rotate toward that leg. So I'm going to come up and rotate, bringing my opposite shoulder toward the knee, and then I'm going to come back down. Let's do that again. And down. Exhale. And down. And again. Let's do 4 more here. Pulling up through that pelvic floor. And 2. 1 more time. Hold that. Stay. Reach the leg out. Pull it in. Reach the leg out and pull it in. 3. 4. Maintain your rotation and lift. 5. 6. 2 more here. 7. And 8. Pull the leg in, lower the upper body down. All right, we're going to reach the opposite arm up to the ceiling, reaching the leg up to the ceiling as well. Arm and leg are going to go nice and long away from each other, and as you come up, we're going to reach to the opposite side of the long leg. And down. Come up and reaching toward that knee, that shin, that ankle, whatever your range is. And curl and reach. And curl and reach. And again. We've got 3 left here. 3. Woo. 2. 1. Hold that. Little pulses. 1 and 2 and 3. Reaching for the opposite side of the foot for 4. 3. Pull those abs in. 2 and 1. Woo, everything goes long. And let's slide it all back in. All right. We have to go and do the other side. So we're going to bring the leg up into tabletop. The hands are going to come behind the head. And let's curl up and all the way back down. Thinking of that opposite shoulder to that opposite knee, coming up and over. Creating space even as you curl through the rib cage. We're not sinking in the rib cage. Let's do this for 3, 2. Feel like you're lifting a little bit higher up, holding that. Reach it out and in. Out and in. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In, lower the head and shoulders down. Let's bring the opposite arm up toward the ceiling. Reach that leg nice and long. Everything goes long here. Lots of good abdominal support. And then as you come up, reach for the opposite side of the leg. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. And curl and reach. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Exhale. Nice and long. Exhale. Nice and long. Let's do this for 4 and 3. Hope you can feel that work. I certainly can too. One more time here. Let's stay up. Hold that. Reach it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Finding that rotation. 8, 9, and 10. Ooh, everything goes long. Pull that leg in, lower that arm down. All right, going back to the leg closest to the camera, we are going to cross the ankle over the foot, over the knee of the other leg. Upper body is gonna stay down for this exercise. Deepening the abdominals. As I exhale, bringing the leg up. We're gonna go into toe taps here. Exhale down, inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. And again. And you can float the arms up to the ceiling if you want to make this a little bit more challenging for yourself, which is pretty fun. Feeling those abdominals kicking in. 2 more here. And 1. Let's keep those arms where they are. Extend the leg up to the ceiling. Take a breath in. On the exhale, lowering the leg down, inhale up. Now you can bring the arms back down by your side if it feels like it's a little bit too much for you. I'm gonna do that because I can feel this into my SI just a little bit. So I need a little bit of extra support here. Lots of work here. Let's do this for 3 and 2. Trying to keep the spine nice and supported, and up, bend the leg, control as you come down. Whew, other side. So crossing the ankle over the knee, let's bring that leg up and toe tap. Exhale and in. Now if the long leg is too much for you, just go back to this one. This is a really nice challenge for the oblique on the side of the leg that's working. 2 more. You can float the arms up for our last 2 here. Let's extend that leg up to the ceiling, finding that glute, deepening those abdominals, bring the leg back up. And again. I'm going to bring my arms down. You can absolutely keep them up, trying to maintain a nice strong spine. So I don't want you popping into your back. Limit your range if it feels like you're going into your back and not using your glutes and abs. 2 more. 1 more time here. And up, bend, lower, and come on down. Let's just do some nice hip rolls. Deepening through those abdominals as you roll through the spine, picking the bum up, all the way up, and then melt, and melt, and melt all the way down. Let's do that again, deepening through those abs. Allowing for the hip flexors to open here. We've done a lot of work, and we're not quite done yet. We've done a lot of work with hip flexors, so you want to come into this really nice long line here, and then melt yourself back down. Let's do that 1 more time. Anchoring into the heels and reaching out through those knees so you really feel that long stretch and you feel those glutes begin to fire up, and then melt and melt and melt and down. rolling onto your side, a nice long leg here. You can bring the legs forward a little bit if it helps with stability, or you can have them right out from underneath that hip joint. You want to take that top hip and reach it toward your feet. So that way you're not sinking into your waist, but instead you have this really long, beautiful waist. We are going to lift and lower the legs, keeping the arm either on your waist or up to the ceiling. You can have it down in front of you, but it's going to take some of the work away from the obliques here. But if you need it for balance, I'd like for you to place it there. There's no point in having the arms somewhere else if you can't maintain your balance. Let's do this for 3 and 2. We're gonna hold that leg, that bottom leg where it is, lift and lower the top leg, 2. So I'm maintaining my nice long waist, and I really have to use my obliques to help balance my torso. Otherwise I'm gonna fall back. 2 more here. And 1. Keep that top leg just hovering above the bottom leg. Bottom leg is gonna circle. 2. 3. Finding that nice strong core. 4 and 5, 6, 7, and 8. Let's reverse that for 8 and 7, 6, and 5. Not all oblique work is flexed work. I'm working very hard right now. Last one here. Holding that, I'm going to lower the leg, the bottom leg, lift the top leg a little higher, bring them together. Down, touch the floor, back together. So it's like a really big scissor. Opening and closing. And 4, 3, 2, 1. Holding it for 4, 3, 2, lower the legs down. All right, nothing fancy to switch those sides. Just up and over. Reaching the legs out nice and long here. Taking a moment to feel where you need to go. That's going to give you the most amount of balance, so the legs can come forward a bit, or the hand can be down. Take a moment to take that top hip. Feel like you're reaching it down toward your feet, pulling those abdominals in, and we're lifting and lowering the legs. Keep your arm in your peripheral vision. If it goes back too far, you're going to want to roll back with it. But if it stays in your peripheral vision, you'll be able to maintain a little bit more balance through your torso. And 3, 2, how are those obliques feeling? Mine are starting to feel pretty tired. We're gonna keep that hover, lift and lower that top leg for 8 and 7. I'm actively reaching out through my legs here. 4, 3, you can see that balance is a challenge for me on this side. Last one, hold that leg to just a hover above the bottom leg, lower that bottom leg, circles here. 1, 2, 3, we're almost done. 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Let's reverse that for 8 and 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Squeeze the legs together, open and close, touch down, lift, and together. Can you feel that work right in here? Let's do this for 4. Make sure you're not sinking that bottom rib down into the floor. 2, 1, then hold it for 5, hold it for 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower it all down. Roll yourself onto your belly. Come on up. We're going to finish with a little plank series here. So coming into your 4-point kneel, finding a nice strong upper body, going out into a nice plank position. We're going to lift the leg closest to the camera. I'm going to point my foot, turn my leg out, and then bring my knee toward my elbow. So my leg is turned out, and then I'm gonna reach it back behind me. And to the elbow, reach it back. Reach it back. Reach it back. For 4, 3, push that floor away, keep your head lifted. Last one, whoo, bring the leg down. Lift, turn the leg out, bend that knee into the elbow, reach it out. The leg is turned out here. And 4, whoo. 5, almost done. 6, 7, last one here. 8, bring it in. I'm gonna bring my leg close to the camera, in, setting my knee down onto the mat and just readjusting that front foot. I'm going to tuck my tailbone under and go into a little runner's stretch here to help stretch out that hip flexor. When we do oblique work, at least when I do oblique work, I find that I can get really into my hip flexors with that work. So I just want to go for a bit of a stretch. Let's lift that same arm up and go for a side bend over the bent leg. It's going to be a little bit of a balance challenge too. That's not a bad thing. And up. Let's do that again. So I'm tucking the tailbone under. I'm going into that little side bend. Back to center. Let's bring ourselves down. I'm not going into a plank to change. I'm just switching the legs up. Coming up, allowing for the tailbone to tuck under a little bit here. Think of an imprint position. So that way you can allow for the front of the leg to open. We're going to take a moment to enjoy that stretch. And then we'll add a little side bend into it. Arm up. Bend toward that bent leg. Feel that stretch all the way through the tissue, from the hip flexor up through the ribs. And again, feel that tuck under of the tailbone. Nice big stretch here. Whew. Balance challenge. After all of that work, arm down. Let's come on down, just go for a nice child's pose. Allow for all of the tissue to open, the glutes, the pelvic floor, everything can relax here. And then rolling yourself up through the spine, nice and tall. All right, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that got your obliques kicking into action. I can definitely feel that work, and I look forward to seeing you in our next intermediate video. Bye.